Greetings everyone, TLOU Strategist here, back with another insightful video. I have to admit, this video was initially going to be a thorough breakdown of the Sony State of Play Last of Us Part 2 trailer. But due to some exciting events that transpired this week, it has evolved into something completely different. But first, I want to check in with my 5 revelations video, and I am pleased to say 4 of my 5 potential revelations came to fruition. We had Joel revealed, we had some intense infected gameplay with some new classes shown, we had a few new weapons shown, but maybe more than anything, we got a release date, February 21st, 2020. The one that did not come true was a big one for me. We received no multiplayer information. With so many amazing details already revealed, and Outbreak Day just 2 days away, I was fully confident this was going to be the best Outbreak Day ever. Or so I thought. You see, I took a rare day off work just to make sure I could fully enjoy this Outbreak Day experience. I knew that it was just going to be absolutely amazing. I wanted to be there and ready and see the first gameplay reveals, all the new updates, any new information that had come out. The very first article I read showed some amazing bow gameplay with some prone action. It was phenomenal. However, the second article I read stopped me in my tracks. It said The Last of Us 2 multiplayer would not be happening. I simply could not believe it. There was too many factors I feel like that it made it that it could not be true. And as I mentioned in a previous Will TLOU Part 2 have a multiplayer video, I felt it would just be too much of a backlash if they decided to cancel it or not have it. So there's no way this could be happening. There had to be something else at play here. So 30 minutes into Outbreak Day, and I started getting copious amounts of DMs, texts, messages, comments, all saying basically, what the heck is going on? Can you believe this? Is this true? What is happening? Some people were sad, depressed, and despondent, while others were simply livid and furious. So I had to act quickly, and I posted a tweet. I said, I know reading an article like this on Outbreak Day, of all days, is just about the worst possible news for many TLOU enthusiasts. Let's exercise some patience with this, as there are literally 2 multiplayer jobs currently open for The Last of Us Part 2. Let's chill a moment. So at this point, I noticed that Sancho West had posted a tweet saying that he had a gut feeling that The Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer would not take place. And so I replied to him, I said, hey Sancho West, there's 2 specific jobs, the multiplayer server programmer and the multiplayer gameplay programmer listed on Naughty Dog Jobs and LinkedIn, posted 1 week ago. I'm hoping together we can encourage some patience until we receive more details. He did not reply to me, unfortunately. He did record his reaction to the news and said it was a massive bummer, and it is one reason why he chooses to play other games like Fortnite in the event that something like this happens. He also said that while he didn't want to believe it, he saw it coming. I, however, did not see it coming, and that's simply because I did not believe it was true. You see, it's not only just believing in my heart of hearts that it would not be canceled. It's logically, there was too many important pieces of information that I had gleaned over these past few years that led me to believe that there was no way that they would just cancel it at this point in time. And then I saw it in a Polygon article. Thank you, Anthony Newman. Attentive readers will have noticed our job postings. He is clearly referencing the multiplayer positions that they have been posting quite recently, and on that day that he gave that interview, they had reposted them just literally days before. It's reading between the lines 101, and if you'd like to see those specific positions, here is a screen capture from the LinkedIn page. You can see Andy Sunwoo, who is a very capable and very smart person. There's no way that she accidentally left these positions up during this entire week. This was a key bit of information that I really wanted to get out there to let people know that they did not need to overreact to the situation, that it was clear to me that there was something going on behind the scenes that they could not explain more about at this time. So throughout the day, so many people started using the We Are Factions hashtag, and there was so much momentum going that Naughty Dog actually released a statement later that night. It said, "We wanted to address multiplayer in The Last of Us Part 2. As we've stated, the single-player campaign is far and away the most ambitious project Naughty Dog has ever undertaken. Likewise, as development began in the evolution of our Factions mode from The Last of Us Part 1, the vision of the team grew beyond an additional mode that could be included with our enormous single-player campaign. Wanting to support both visions, we made the difficult choice that The Last of Us Part 2 would not include an online mode. However, you will eventually experience the fruits of our team's online ambition, but not as part of The Last of Us Part 2. When and where it will be realized is still to be determined, but rest assured, we are as big a fan of Factions as the rest of our community and are excited to share when it's ready. Naughty Dog." A quick same-day response like this is kind of unprecedented for Naughty Dog, and I sincerely appreciate them taking the time and the effort to make this clear to us. It really alleviated the one worry I had, that there was this rare chance that the multiplayer online component was just completely axed and they wouldn't be addressing it at all. But that is clearly not the case. It was also super cool to see both Vinit Agrawal and Ed Pereira, two Naughty Dog multiplayer developers, reaffirm Naughty Dog's message in their own words and basically say that they're very much working hard on this online mode and are excited to share it with us. There are two quick things I'd like to clarify before I get into my final point. The first is this whole online movement was a community effort. There's no one YouTuber, no one person that was solely responsible for making it happen. It took a collective effort, and that's exactly what happened. The second thing I wanted to mention was when dealing with a situation like this, it would behoove you to respectfully ask for clarification instead of attacking or getting irate and furious towards the developers and Naughty Dog. Oftentimes, they are not saying something for a very specific reason that they cannot say at that time. Alright, to get back to The Last of Us Part 2 and multiplayer, you may be saying, Strats, what the heck? That last official update from Naughty Dog said that multiplayer will specifically not be in The Last of Us Part 2. Why are you excited about that? Well, there's many different routes this could go, but there are two alternatives that I'm particularly excited about. The first is the online component becomes an exclusive for the PS5 release. That's right, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, or whatever they choose to call it, will technically be a different game than The Last of Us Part 2 for the PS4. And part of me thinks that's actually a very smart way to do it, because if you think of The Last of Us, how the online originally started on PS3, and those servers were recently shut down, would they really want to invest a lot in the PS4 servers when they could hold off for 1 year and start with the PS5? It would probably be much better for the longevity of the multiplayer. Now, the second alternative is particularly fascinating for me. If it is true that this multiplayer component of The Last of Us Part 2 grew in such size, became so big in scope, that it could not be included with the initial Last of Us Part 2 release, then to me it would seem that the only logical conclusion would be to give it its own game. The Last of Us Factions standalone game. I know a lot of people believe that in Part 1, the story mode and Factions didn't really mesh well. Now, I personally disagree with that. I found that Factions really enhanced and brought the story mode to life. And I believe that is why, to this day, it is still an incredibly popular multiplayer. When I think of this, I think of Uncharted 4 Lost Legacy, how that was a DLC edition that kind of grew into its own game. And I could see The Last of Us Factions doing the very same. So, I hope you learned something from this. I hope maybe this alleviated some of your concerns about where this Naughty Dog multiplayer is going in the future. And please do try to comment your thoughts below. I'm not able to get to every single comment, but I do try to read and respond to as many as I can. Alright, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Cheers.